Hello and welcome. In the next video, he will be installing and setting up the Keras implementation of YOLO. And we will get started with just finding the right repository in a GitHub, and the exact name of the repository is Keras-YOLO free, because we are using the YOLO version free, and this is the most up-to-date version. And we also have to notice that we are interested in repository from user QQWWEEE. Very nice name. So let's see what we can do, how we can find this repository. So let's first go to the GitHub. Just type in your web browser github.com, and this is the standard website of GitHub. And in a search box, let's just type in Keras YOLO free and hit enter. And this repository that we are interested in, this is the first match, so it's from the user QQWWEEE, and the project is called Keras-YOLO free. So let's click on that, and our first task is to actually download or clone this repository. And you can download it using this button on the right, the screen button on the right, but we will actually clone this repository because it will be faster that way for us. So the first thing that we need to do to clone the repo, this repository, we need to copy and paste its URL. So let's just do that. Let's copy it into the clipboard, okay? And then let's open the terminal and go to the source directory for this section and just type in git clone, and then let's paste this URL, and this will pretty much just clone this repository inside Keras-YOLO free. Okay, so let's now enter this directory. So once we've got our repository, and we need to do some more work, actually some more setting up work before we can get started. So the next step is to download YOLO weights. This is the version 3, the newest version of weights. And what are weights? Well, you can think about weights as the content of the actual model. So this is the pre-trained, the core part of the pre-trained model. Those are internal parameters of the model that makes it really trained. Yeah. So let's download those weights, and we can just follow the instructions inside Keras-YOLO free. We can just follow the instructions under quick start and have a nice set of commands that we'll be using. So to download weights, we need to copy and paste the wget command. This is pretty much we just downloading the weights file from the YOLO website. So it's wget and HTTPS address that we have in a quick start in the description of the repo. So let's run this command, and it will take quite a while because it is a quite big file. Okay, so we've almost done downloaded weights. Okay, it's done. It's around 200 megabytes in size. This is just one file. So this is our next step, and then after that, after downloaded YOLO weights, we have to convert the darknet YOLO model to Keras model. And as you remember, the original implementation of YOLO was made in darknet, which is a neural network framework, a pretty rare one, and right now we need to convert those darknet YOLO model into Keras model, and we can do that using this simple script. And this is pretty much the next command that we have inside our quick start guide in the description of YOLO Keras-YOLO free. So let's run this command, and keep in mind that you have to do that inside Keras-YOLO, and also we need to use different kind of version of Python. So as you remember, when we've installed Python, our Python from Anaconda, the one that we've installed specifically for this course, this version of Python is can be run using Python free command. So here we are changing Python first part. We just using Python free command to run this convert. So here we basically just running convert.py script with configuration, and we are saving this information, the converted model, inside model data, model underscore data slash YOLO .h5. And keep in mind that right now we are working with just full YOLO model, and you can also work with tiny YOLO model, and you can find those informations in the description of the Keras-YOLO free repository. So let's convert this model inside let's convert our model into the Keras model. Let's just run this command. So it seems that everything worked just fine, and just notice that judging from the description of the convolutional layers here in the output, we have run like 75 convolutional layers, and maybe I can see that it's not actually sequential, but there's a lot of convolutional layers out there. So this network is really and so the last step here, once we converted our darkened YOLO model to Keras, we can check if the detection actually works. And how we can actually do that? We can run a YOLO video script with image, and what this option actually does is that it allows us to test this detection using on images. So let's just change the Python into Python 3 because this is our Python version that we are using. Then YOLO underscore video.py, and keep in mind that we are doing all of this inside Keras-YOLO free and then dash image. And what it will actually do, it will ask us to provide the path to an image that we should use to make a detection using this pre-trained YOLO model. So we just wait until we've got the prompt. Okay, so we loading our model, and as you can see, it actually took a while, and then we need to provide the path to the image that we want to use for detection. And inside source directory we have data directory, and we have file called 1docs.jpg. Let's just run it, and this is just a bunch of docs that you've seen on the slides in previous section, and now this script is actually doing the detection. And just keep in mind that this is I've mentioned that this is a very, just keep in mind that even though we can see that it's not a speed demon or anything, those scripts, this version of YOLO, we are using here only CPU, no GPU, so that's why this is pretty slow, but still fast enough that we can test it. So this is our results, and this was generated on the fly, and we've detected a bunch of, as you can see, we found 7 boxes for IMG, and we have all those numbers, those are floating point numbers that represent the probability that each box belongs to a given class. So here we have all dogs, and we have almost, in any case, we have almost 100% probability that we are actually having dogs on a picture. And of course, notice that on this picture we are not perfect here, right? Here we have some false detection, here we missed one puppy, but that's not the point, because you can tweak those, describe those parameters of YOLO so it can be more precise or less precise. What's important here is that our setup is actually working. So I hope that this video was useful. In the next video we'll learn how to use a pre-trained YOLO model with our setup for object detection. So until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.